Welcome to the second module of the Social Enterprise Marketing Toolkit. By now, you should have completed the exercises at the end of the first module, including identifying the various audiences for your product or service, thinking about what motivates them to buy from you, and defining what makes you distinct or unique in the marketplace. Now, we'll turn our attention to some essentials of marketing. No lesson about marketing would be respectable or complete if it didn't talk in detail about the 4 Ps. These are the textbook basics of marketing theory, and each of the 4 Ps must be understood in detail if a marketing plan is to be successful. We'll look at each of them in turn, but to begin, the 4 Ps are product, place, promotion, and price. Each of these factors has an important influence on the marketing of your social enterprise, and each can be the starting point for a series of lessons. In this toolkit, we'll put each into general context and provide some strategic insights into how you should think about them as you develop your marketing plans. We'll also look at positioning, a theory developed in the 80s by respected marketing professor Al Ries, which has been dubbed the 5th P. Let's start with product. Clearly, your product or service is what your customers are ultimately buying. Of course, they have a choice about whether to buy your product or service or to purchase from one of your competitors. So it's imperative that you work continually to keep your product or service compelling in its own right. Continual review and innovation will help your product or service remain competitive in the market. Any goodwill generated by superior quality, new features, or even its contribution to your social mission will increase the market's perception of your value. For example, a cleaning business that supports training for unskilled or barriered workers might start to incorporate green systems into their products and services to remain competitive. This is a factor that is increasingly in demand with consumers. Its absence is less and less likely to be tolerated by the market. When you think about marketing your products, you must think about its features, advantages, and benefits. Features are the tangible and identifiable factors or ingredients of your product or service. They may include your call center, if your customers primarily reach you by phone, the location of your retail store, or the fact that the fruit you cater is sourced from a local grocer or farm. Advantages are specific contributions those features make to value. Your call center helps you respond quickly. Your store is in the heart of the neighborhood you serve. The fruit is fresh and local. Benefits, though, are the real reasons customers buy from you. The call center ensures customers' needs are met as quickly as possible. The store is the most convenient place for them to shop. The fruit tastes great, and its delivery doesn't require expensive and polluting shipping. Use the worksheet to list all the features of your product or service and to identify which features are unique to you versus those that are common to your competitors as well. Then think about the advantages you present and the specific benefits your customers get from each of those features. This can be a tricky exercise as we naturally want to talk about features. They're easy to measure and understand. The challenge for marketers is to keep in mind that people don't respond to statements about features or statistics about advantages, but they will connect with relevant benefits. The second of the 4 Ps is place. This refers to how you choose to distribute your products or services and how far you're able to reach. The type of product or service your social enterprise offers will typically dictate the best channels to reach customers. A retail store is going to have a physical location and probably a website, but a product may need to be distributed through wholesale vendors and promoted online. Placement can affect your business because of constraints on capacity. There are economies of scale that come into play as any enterprise grows, but too much reach too soon can stretch your capacity to maintain customer service and quality. For example, if you are a florist that provides bouquets and table centers for weddings, you may exceed your capacity if you agree to provide flowers for 6 weddings in a single day. While a bride might want to support your shop and your cause, no amount of compassion will compensate for being late or unable to deliver flowers on her wedding day. Here's a handy rule of thumb. If you're considering a traditional retail business, take 10% of your forecast sales as a marketing budget, but include your rent in that number. Location is so important in retail that spending more on a better location may drive exponential returns on that investment. Higher rent can be the smartest marketing investment you'll make. The third of the 4 P's is promotion, and this is what most people think about when they think about marketing. Promotion is the collection of advertising and other communication devices and vehicles that you use to tell each audience about your product. There are many different ways to communicate, and the advent of social media has really increased the complexity of these various opportunities. It isn't the purpose of this toolkit to go through the relative value of all these tools, but there are 3 key fundamentals to keep in mind. First, each promotional opportunity must contribute to one or more of your strategies and help you reach your goals. A great deal on an ad or any other marketing tool is only a truly great deal if it helps reinforce your message and contributes to your goals. Second, your messages should drive your selection of promotions. We'll be talking more about messages in the next module of the toolkit, but one common mistake is to use appealing promotional opportunities when they aren't the best vehicle to convey your message. The challenge could be obvious. If you're trying to appeal to wealthy people to buy your services, an ad campaign inside buses may not be the best way to reach them. Wealthy people more often drive than take the bus. Or the challenge could be more subtle. If yours is a street cleaning business in a particular neighborhood of the city, promotions that aren't focused in that neighborhood won't reach your audience. No matter how great the deal on the promotional opportunity, it won't help you reach your goals. So your goals and messages should drive your promotions, not the other way around. The third fundamental to keep in mind about promotion is that each one contributes to a complete campaign. By echoing the same message online as you do in advertising and in stores, you'll help your audience to understand and recall what your product or service is all about. It's rare that one promotional vehicle will achieve your marketing goals, so you need to think about them all as a mix. Promotional planning takes a great deal of time for marketing. The challenge is that it can be utterly different from one organization to the next. Get as much information about the promotional opportunities as you can. Who will they reach? Where will they reach them? What does the vendor know about their publications or their radio station's audience? And is it the same as your audience? And does it overlap? Finally, have an expert review your ideas or plans. Their specific knowledge of the industry jargon and promotional planning has been earned over years or decades. They'll help you find the traps and pitfalls and optimize your promotional plans to get the most from your marketing budget. This is the end of Part 1 of the Social Enterprise Marketing Toolkit. Watch Part 2 for the remainder of the Essentials module.